is called Rumpel, Stil. There was once a miller who bragged constantly about his daughter. One day, as the king was riding by, the miller said loudly, "Your Majesty should see my lovely daughter. Why, she is so clever that I believe she could even turn straw into gold." "Well, let us see if she can," said the king. He told the miller to bring her to the palace that very day. The miller's daughter came to the palace and was taken to a room filled with straw. "Turn this straw into gold by tomorrow morning," said the king, "if you care for your life." The daughter was locked in a room and left all alone. "I do not know how to turn straw into gold," she cried. "If only my father had not boasted so." "What will you give me to do it for you?" asked a strange voice. There stood a little man with twinkling eyes. "Why, I'll give you the ring on my finger," she said. "Very well," said the little man. He took the ring and sat down at the spinning wheel. Within a few minutes, the piles of straw had become spools of fine gold thread. Then the man was gone, just as suddenly as he had come. The king was very pleased the next morning to see the golden spools. "I want you to spin a bit more," he said, and he took her to another room, straw-filled, just as before, but twice as large as the first. When he had locked her inside, the miller's daughter wept angrily. "I shall never be free," she cried. "Oh, yes, you will, with my help," said a familiar voice. The little man had returned. "What will you give me in turn to turn this straw into gold for you?" he asked. "The chain around my neck," she said. The little man took the chain, sat down, and spun all the straw into gold, just as before. Then he disappeared. The king was delighted to see so many golden spools when he opened the door the next morning, and he was glad to see the pretty miller's daughter as well. He took her to a third straw-filled room, 3 times as big as the first one. "If you can spin all of this straw into gold by morning," he said, "I will make you my queen." Then the king left the girl alone once more. "If I were queen," she thought, "I would be free from my prison." Suddenly the little man stood before her. "What will you give me to help you once more?" he asked. "I have nothing left to give," she said. "Then you must promise to give me your firstborn child," said the little man. "That is a terrible price to pay," she cried. But since the little man would accept nothing else, she finally agreed. He quickly spun all the straw into gold, then disappeared. The miller's daughter and the king were married, and after a time a beautiful baby was born to them. One day, as the queen sat rocking her child, the little man suddenly appeared. "I've come for the child," he hissed. "Give it to me." The queen held her baby tightly and begged the little man to change his mind. "This child is mine," he insisted. But the queen pleaded, so that at last he gave in. "If you can guess my name in 3 days' time," he said, "you may keep your child." Then he was gone. The queen sent messengers far and wide, and they brought back many names. When the little man returned the next morning, she tried Balthazar, Alexander, and Fernando. But each time the little man answered, "No, that is not my name." The next day she tried Sheepshanks, Carrot Tops, and Longbeard. But the little man always said, "No, that is not my name." The queen began to fear that she would never guess his name. But that very night, one of the messengers came upon a clearing deep in the forest, where a little man danced around a fire. The messenger hid behind a tree, and this is what he heard. "Today I brew, tomorrow I bake, and then the fair queen's child I'll take, and no one can deny my claim, for Rumpelstiltskin is my name." The messenger rushed back to the queen. The next day the little man arrived bright and early. "Your time is almost up," he said. "Yes," said the queen, "but I shall try once more to guess your name." "Is it Broadbottoms?" "No," said the little man. "Is it Jehoshaphat?" "No," he said, "that is not my name." Said the queen. "Could it be Rumpelstiltskin?" "The devil told you that," screamed the little man. He stomped his foot so hard that it went right through the floor. Then he grabbed his other foot and pulled himself in two, and the queen and her child never feared him again.